Hello, I'm Sam Flynn, and today I'm going to be talking to you about 5 ways to generate content ideas for social media. So, we all know we need to share a lot of content on social media. It gets a bit exhausting having to constantly come up with new ideas, doesn't it? And I know a lot of businesses really struggle with this. You know, they're racking their brains. What the heck can we talk about that is going to be of interest to our audience? So I thought it was a really good topic to share with you today. And hopefully, these 5 ways will really help you come up with more content ideas for your business. So, number one is questions from your current customers. Now, if you get regular questions from your customers that are along the same vein, or you just, maybe just save them every time you get a question, save it somewhere in a file. Because if your customers have those questions, your potential customers have those questions too. I use this a lot in training. When I'm delivering training and they're asking me questions, I will often jot down the questions because I know if they're asking it, everyone else or a good proportion of people are thinking it too. And that then gives me content to answer that question. You know, you can even say like, what did my customers ask me the other day? And then you can give the response. So your questions your customers ask are really valuable in helping guide your social media content. Number two is questions from your non-customers. So questions from your target market. Now, where do we find these questions? Well, one place I find really useful is Facebook groups. If you join Facebook groups where your target market are, and then look at some of the things they're posting in that group, you can also search within groups. So you could search some of the keywords that maybe would indicate they have a question about your industry. So if you're an accountant, you might put in things like tax, HMRC, accounts, self-assessment, etc. And then you can see the questions that are coming up around that topic. And what you'll often notice if people in the comments are going, following, I need to know this too, I'm stuck with this as well, then it is definitely a question that needs to be answered on social media. So Facebook groups are really useful for that. Also, just keeping an eye out on social media when people are posting and saying, help, I need help with this. Or if you do something like host a Q&A, then what kind of questions are coming through? Because if people are asking them on a Q&A, then it's probably a good thing to create content around the questions that are coming through. So really pricking your ears up and seeing what your potential customers, your target market, are asking questions around in various places on social media. Number three is hot topics in your industry right now. Now, in most industries, there's always something that's hot at certain times of the year, or something that suddenly comes out in the news, or something that you know people are really struggling with right now because there's been a certain change. That is a huge, huge content bingo, because it means that you can create several posts that help cover that issue for people, that maybe give your opinions on it, that ask for their opinions on it, that get discussion going. So what are the hot topics in your industry right now, or in the future, or all the time, the hot topics? And keep sharing content around those hot topics, because they are hot for a reason, because people want to learn about them, people want to talk about them. So don't shy away from the hot things that are going on in your industry at any one time. Number four is being inspired by other people's content. Now, if I get really stuck for content ideas, and to be honest, I haven't had to do this in a long time because I'm pretty in the flow now with content ideas, but definitely in the past, if I've been really stuck, one thing I've done is often gone and look at the top experts in my industry and then look through their content, and I could look through like post after post after post after post. And it will start triggering my thinking like, oh my gosh, I've not told my audience about that. Or, yeah, of course, why wouldn't I not share about that? Now, this isn't about replicating their content. This is just about using them for ideas. So, for example, if I saw someone sharing a piece of content around, I don't know, increasing the reach of your reels, I'd be like, oh yeah, I could do a post around that. I know stuff around that. And I can create my own content in my own format with my own words, just using the same kind of topic area that that industry expert has used. And I find that really inspiring, going and following and looking at what other experts in the industry are sharing. It's a really nice way of triggering those content ideas in your own brain, but just do not copy them and don't post it the same day that they do, because it looks pretty obvious. And number 5 is repurposing your own content. Now, you're probably getting new followers, new connections all the time. And even if you've had the same connections for years and years and you never get any new ones, which is highly unlikely, those people are not going to remember what you posted 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. They probably won't even remember what you posted a week or so ago. So don't feel like you have to keep coming up with new content ideas. Look at your insights and analytics, see which content really resonates with your audience and got lots of engagement, and then recreate that content again. You know, do it in a different format. Maybe at the time it was an image with text, maybe now do it as a video, or even keep the same format, just change the wording slightly. But there's no harm in repurposing your content that has worked well in the past. There are only so many content ideas in the world, aren't they? Why would you need to have to keep coming up with new ones when you've already created all this wonderful content already? Repurpose the content that you have already created and it will save you a lot of time. So to recap then, 5 ways to help you generate content ideas are: number 1, questions from your customers. Number 2, questions from your target market. Number 3, hot topics in your industry right now. What are people talking about? Number 4 is being inspired by industry experts. And number 5 is repurposing your content. And if you'd love to know more about coming up with content ideas and planning your content in advance, come and join me on my membership plan at Social Media. One of the great membership benefits is a monthly content planning call where we meet together live and we plan our content for the following month. I would love you to join me on my next one. So do go and have a look at Planet Social Media. But the other great member benefit is there are loads and loads of videos on there which will help you create social media content as well as do lots of other actions on social media. So go and have a look, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel as well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.